Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm back again today with another lens review. This time it's a zoom lens. Sigma 70-300 f4-5.6 macro lens. At over half a kilogram, it's my heaviest piece of kit so far. So let's talk about some of its features and quirks. It's got a metal mount here, which is pretty nice for some people, they prefer that. The autofocus switch is on the bottom. It zooms the opposite way to Canon, and when you are between 200 and 300, you can activate the macro mode using this switch, and then you're allowed to continue focusing out all the way to 1 to 2 macro, and this is at 0.95 meters. You can only disengage the macro mode once you have zoomed back, which might be a little bit confusing, and you're also locked between 200 and 300 obviously when you have it engaged. Sigma make two 70-300mm f4-5.6 lenses. This version is the macro lens. There is another version with image stabilization, which is a very useful feature for a telephoto lens. The choice for me was very easy though, because I both needed a long telephoto lens and a macro lens. The front filter thread is 58mm, so your filters will be cheap to buy. This lens will both fit on full frame and crop sensor, but as it is a budget telephoto lens worth only about $150, I don't believe they think that full frame users will be buying this kind of a lens. Speaking of full frame, when you put this lens on a crop sensor body, the full frame equivalent focal length is 112mm to 480mm. That sounds pretty close to 150 to 500 to me. The focus barrel turns very quickly and smoothly, but unfortunately, it doesn't have a very long throw, which makes it hard to achieve critical focus. Autofocus, however, is another issue. Watch this. It's very slow and clunky and kinda loud. Anyway, let's take it into the field to see how it goes. So how does this lens work against bright lights? Well, there's a little bit of flaring there. Wide open at 70mm, the lens is averagely sharp throughout the frame with an average level of vignetting. To fix this, all you have to do is stop the lens down to f5.6 and it all goes away. Vignetting and sharpness remain the same right up until the effects of diffraction start coming in. Zoomed to 100mm, the center of the frame is sharpest from f5.6 and the corners are sharpest from f8. Zoomed into 135mm, the center of the frame once again is sharp from f5.6, but unfortunately, even after slopping down to f8, the corners still don't seem to get very good. Once again at 200mm, the center of the frame is sharpest from f5.6, and vignetting and corner sharpness are brought under control at f8. When we zoom into 300mm, to get the best sharpness in the center and in the corners of the frames, we need to stop the lens down to f8. When shooting 2:1 macro photos, the frame continuously improves up to f11. With it being a long telephoto zoom lens, it finds it easy to render the out of focus backgrounds softly. With all of this behind me, I think I'll show you some photos that I've taken.